in this AI new paradigm, you didn't catch up, you'll be left behind. You'll be left behind not because of you did not hear, but you'll be left behind because you did not act. Now, what does it mean? And how does AI now comes to our day-to-day tasks? Already, if you are using Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, any app, whether even WhatsApp, your data is being collected, it's being trained, and it's being used to market to you. That is why when you go to Amazon and you buy a book, they will show you other books that are related. How did they know? When you go to Google and you search fan, and you go to another platform, maybe that is related to Google, you start seeing different fans. How did they know? These things are tracking you, tracking your like, tracking what you are doing, what you like to do, what you don't like to do. So it knows you. But these are not the kind of AIs that we're talking about in this particular meeting today. The AI we're talking about is the one you can use. So there are two forms of AI. The one you can't use, you can't access. These are the AI that monitors you. They are silent. We, people like me, develop that kind of AI. It monitors you, it checks what you are doing, and then it tries to realign you when you are misaligned. So I'll be using the word align and misalign because those are technical words that we use in AI development. When we say that something is misaligned, it means it has gone the wrong direction. And when something is aligned, means it has come back. Now, most organizations today have not imbibed using AI fully, apart from maybe Copilot, Microsoft, because Microsoft embedded it by force. They are not asking you options, right? They put it by force in their product. Facebook put it by force in their product. TikTok put it by force. Everybody put it by force because if not, they will lose the market. Yes, these are the kind of one that they control. But the one that you now have access to control, Copilot is actually being run from ChatGPT back end anyway. But we're not talking about the kind of AI that you can use. How do you think about those AIs? Most companies are not using AI because of ethics. And ethics is coming because of alignment, because sometimes current development of AI, it can make mistake, it can hallucinate. And because of that hallucination, you put sensitive information, you don't know who's going to get it. AI is being used for positive thing and negative thing. AI is a tool. It's not a human being. It is what human being use it for. If you use it for good, it becomes good. If you use it for bad, it becomes bad. But how does it impact your own life as a person? First, when you're on social media, AI is taking your data. He knows who you are. He knows your like. He knows your preferences. They are not targeting you as one person, except you are doing something very bad. Now, in your professional career, what does AI mean? AI means that it's an intelligence system sufficiently understand language. I told you it's mathematical in code, right? So we use mathematics to replace language, and communication is the key thing we do as an individual. Whether you like it or not, irrespective of the profession you are just communicating, you are just talking. If you're an engineer, you are communicating with your clients, they are your design, you are trying to solve an engineering problem. If you're a lawyer, you are making communication, you're just explaining the legal side of law. If you're a doctor, you're also making communication, diagnosing people's disease and telling them that, look, this is what is wrong with you, this drug I think you should take. It's all communication. If you're a politician, you are communicating your ideas on how you think society should be modeled, right? So communication is what makes us a human being. And that is why the large language model is the most advanced general application of AI. And that's what brought AI to everybody's knowledge. We have different kind of AI. We have AI that drives car, we have AI that drives plane, we have AI that studies soil, we have AI that tells you when to plant your fruits, when to harvest them. We have AI that studies diseases of plants. We have AI that models new particles. We have AI that solves and think that it can take us to Mars. We have different kind of AI. But the AI that is popular today is the large language model. It's the one that you see in ChatGPT, you see it in Prof, you see it in Meta. Google have their own. These AIs are actually text predictor. They study pattern. Their job is to study pattern. All AI is pattern. All AI. Because I told you my background is system engineering. I study pattern. Whether the pattern is biological, whether it is a human machine, it doesn't matter. Everything in life has a pattern, and that pattern is what we follow. Now, pattern is structured. Because it is structured, it means we can program it. In fact, we have come to find out that the whole human thing called emotion is even structured. If life is not structured, the sun will not be held where it is. The moon will not be where it is. The earth will not be where it is. So everything in life is following a particular structure. The only thing as scientists that we don't know is that sometimes these structures are, the relationship between them are non-linear. That's what makes them difficult to study. But otherwise, they are structured. And our mathematics before we created AI, that's now solving a combination of numerical and non-numerical problems with a brute force. It allows us to do great things. But in the next 10 years, we will not understand this again. Okay, so in the next 10 years, AI is going to change completely how we see the world. It's going to be like the mobile phone period, where you don't even we that are developing these AIs and building them and owning them, we marvel at what they do. We are shocked. We are shocked not because of anything, but because AI itself is following the brain pattern of a human being. What we did, even to a smaller scale, not even to a larger scale, we try to create neurons the way the human neurons fires. And that's why we had a mathematical representation of the neurons. So forget the large text you are seeing. Behind it is the mathematics. And what that mathematics means that we have millions of neurons in different layers. And they fired in that layer. We chunk down the problem. And then we allowed it to have a recursive feedback. That recursive feedback allows the output to be compared to the inputs. And then the system weight to be changed automatically. That's what we call AI. So it means it thinks like us, but it's large. It has large neurons, high computation power. So in the next 10 years, no single human being can be compared to an AI. Well, even though there is a large language model, any kind of AI, because they think very fast, because of the lack of emotion that AI does not have. They do not carry fear, shame, guilt, and those fundamental human problems that make us to make wrong decisions. So do you see the reason why we keep developing AI and then we keep teaching AI those patterns that woman knows, and as we translate them into machines, machine begin to do that kind of pattern, but the machine does not get angry. It does not say it's tired. It does not say, look, I have this emotional shame that I don't want to see XYZ person. So it doesn't have, technically speaking, an emotional soul, because a transistor cannot feel pain. It can only feel heat, and heat is not pain. But for a human being, we can make decisional errors because of fear, shame, guilt, and lack of computational power to see the consequences of our actions. That way, there is no way AI research can stop. I'm just giving you the background why it cannot stop and why it must continue to model society. Before the advent of AI, the legislators have the power. They make constitutional power, policies for the government. They detect how society is governed. Today, it is people that write AI policies, that develop AI, that are now the constitutional makers. It means AI is redefining field. Now, what makes AI so interesting is that whatever woman can do, AI will eventually learn to do it perfectly, but no emotion. With that no emotion, I will just give a small analogy. How powerful emotion could be and why we can't stop our research on AI. And I'll tell you the ethics problem in AI and how we are solving it. For instance, you are supposed to take gate A. You are going to a destination, supposed to take gate A, but you mistakenly took gate W. In the next turn, you are supposed to take gate C. You mistakenly take gate F. In the next turn, you are supposed to take gate G. You mistakenly took gate S. You can see how far you have missed your way. Is that correct? But with an AI, it does the mathematical computation and ensures that it follows the gate it's supposed to follow. Now, human, because of that misalignment, causes consequence lost in the workplace, both in time, in resources, and in progress. But with AI, those are being minimized. Now, what's the ethical issues about AI? There are two. Number one, because AI does not have emotion, if you ask an AI, he will just give you an answer. Whether the answer is correct or not, he does not know his line, except you are an expert in that field. So if you take everything that an AI tells you, hook, line, and sinker, you have outsourced what we call your agency, your ability to be in charge to the AI. That means, but AI, because it cannot give you a voice, it cannot say, I don't know. Except he knows that you are an expert. You have reached the boundary of knowledge. And AI, immediately you start speaking to an AI, it takes you seriously because you now try to find out where you are, whether you are a beginner, you are an advanced user. From your few interactions with an AI, the question you ask an AI, no matter how stupid it is, it will quickly place who you are and what you are. But you will not know. If not, if we allow everybody to go to an AI and make changes to an AI, stupid people will misdirect the machine. So you can see that an AI keeps improving. It's not going backward. Why is it not going backward? Because I have a safety rail. And the safety rail is that an AI is trained, let's take, for instance, the large language model. The Mexibog, please let me know how long I can speak. The large language model. So let's deal with the ethical issues around AI. Most organizations are not running to adopt AI now, which keeps on work safe, but not safe for long, because they will start seeing the benefit of reduced costs, of clear policy, superior policy directions, and superior output of work with no complaint and at shorter time. Where does it place you as a person? It means you must catch up. I think maybe later I'll come and explain how you can catch up and what you need to do. But on the ethical issues, there are some sensitive informations that many companies believe they have. And that's why they are not allowing AI to be deployed in their system. Because anything you tell AI, it takes you serious and it can be used in the training. And AI itself, how what they call self-attention. That's how it thinks. That's the core machine and AI is called self-attention. And that self-attention is how it changes its weight internally, as we mathematicians will call it. So anything you give it, it keeps it. Anything you give it, it keeps it. But it may not necessarily explain to somebody else and say, this is what so and so person gave me. But the ethical issue is, if you program something wrongly into an AI, it will generally pass on to the clients. And how we've been dealing with that within AI community is what we call alignment. And that's where my major contribution to AI came, actually. My major contribution came in alignment, where I was able to use the Yoruba cosmology, because Yoruba cosmology is actually dealing with neural behavior of human being and the consequent reaction in the society, which is where the Western world did not have in their own particular epistemology and ontology that builds their own AI. And that's why today now, the AI built is the one that is being used, part of what is being used to train the Western AI on consequence and to reduce the mistakes that AI does. So basically, the AI I have is to look at consequence of an action before it will be taken, simulate that consequence of an action through many different gates, and come to a conclusion to say, this particular gate is the worst, don't go there, and this is the best, follow here. And as you keep talking to the AI, it keeps changing it. It keeps changing the weight and changing the direction. So ethical issues are the most important thing that you cannot play with in AI. Because if you play with it, the AI that's supposed to take you from Kaduna, let's say an AI plane that's supposed to take you from Kaduna to Jos, it will take you from Kaduna and land you back Ladash. And if anybody stops you on the way, if the AI is recognized, it will finish everybody on that road. As I said, people say AI is dangerous. But we are working internally to correct all those kind of feedbacks so that AI itself, self-police itself, and know what is right or wrong. But I told you because it has no emotion, so it doesn't know what is right or wrong. But we're trying at this stage, at least significantly, the AI developed has got to understand emotion as a pattern. And because emotion can be pattern, that allows us now to start creating AIs that feels, that understand, and knows that if I tell you to follow gate A will lead you to X, Y, Z. If I tell you to follow gate B will lead to X, Y, Z. That's anything that has to do with alignment and ethics. Now, for you as the individual, as a professional, what do you need to do? First, you need to know now that you have in your pockets a machine that knows everything. When I say everything that have existed on the surface of this earth, everything. The only question is, do you know how to ask it? How to write your prompts? What to ask? Don't sound very stupid. How do you ask questions? Because it's a mathematical pattern it's doing. AI does simply do pattern recognition. That's all. So if you give it the wrong input, it will give you a wrong pattern. If you give it the right input, so your prompts is like you're building a pattern structure. How you talk to it. The response to will follow that pattern structure out. Now, but the key thing is that everybody now have a machine that guide you. It may not prescribe you, it will prescribe you drugs, but may not be able to write the prescription and assign as a doctor. But it will tell you. So if you have cases in the hospital, I'll tell you, I've used it many times. I have cases, I go to the hospital, they are doing their diagnosis, I'm taking my test, I'm giving my own AI, it's analyzing it for me, it's telling me the drugs, I'm looking at the doctor, I'm looking at what he's saying. I will ask my AI, what question should I ask this doctor? He will tell me what to ask him. So the doctor is having multiple questions. As he's giving me the answer, I'm comparing it with what my AI says. And I've saved myself, my children, from a lot of wrong medical diagnosis. A lot of it. I've used it in cases, I mean, when you are dealing with executives, you need to ask questions, intelligent questions. AI can tell you, look, this is the kind of question you should ask this person. If there's a case, how do you talk to people's emotion? People respond to certain emotional word. AI does all those things. These are different things where AI does. As an engineer, AI helps you in design. When you want to do design, it can do any kind of calculation. So what you have in your pocket is you have Albert Einstein in your pocket, Leibniz in your pocket, Pluto in your pocket. Nothing in this world that have ever existed and landed on the internet that's not in AI. It's already trained with it. And that's why every 6 months, retraining happens. The model is shifting because we can't afford for new things to happen. But when we're talking about AI that does complex systems, it takes a bit of time to programming, but you are not starting from zero. You're only starting from, if you last updated in January, and now we're in July, you have only 6 months training to redo. You are not starting all over again. So the cost is reducing and reducing. With time, the number of days that we need to retrain an AI will become less and less and less. And that means at that point, human being, our only job in the future is how do you talk to the AI? How do you now create? So AI will create a new set of thinkers, and these thinkers will call them innovators. So you will not have the regular doctors, the regular nurses, the regular lawyer, the regular engineer. We are what they call innovators now. People that can talk to AI, teaches things, and create policy for it. These are the future jobs. And I will stop at this moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Questions will be taken later.